Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Autos. So here we have a Renault Kangoo ZE. This one is a maxi van, so it's a long wheelbase van. So you'll see there's that extra foot or so in the wheelbase. And this has got the 22 kilowatt hour battery pack. The battery pack that sits there under the floor is leased. So you pay a monthly fee for that battery pack. It starts on £25 plus VAT a month, and it guarantees the battery to 60% of its original capacity, and you also get breakdown cover included in that. So that battery lease scheme gets more attractive the older the van gets, because you don't have to worry about a degrading battery pack. And as soon as it's lost 40% of its original capacity, then you get a new battery pack. So this one, so let's talk about the condition. This one is really nice. It's very low mileage. It's a 2014, what is it? It's September 2014 this one is, and it's in amazing condition. So as you've probably seen from these videos, the sort of purpose of this video is I point out any negatives I can find. I'm very picky and very truthful about the condition of my vehicles, and then that gives people the confidence to buy them without coming to view it first, and then I get it delivered to you. So let's walk around and show you the condition. I'll start in this corner. The front bumper is all scratch free and is really good. I've also put two new front tyres on. Not that the original tyres were worn at all, had loads of tread, because as I said, this one's hardly done any miles, but they were cracking on the sidewalls, they're deteriorating. The fronts normally do go before the back because they get rubbed on curbs and things, and there was just too many cracks in the sidewalls really, so I've put a pair of tyres on. The wheel trims on these are particularly good as well. These ZE wheel trims do protrude rather a lot and do usually get quite scratched up, but these are pretty good. So it's all really nice down here. There's no significant dents or scratches or stone chips that I need to point out. There's just two small ones. There's a little dent there. That's obviously where a door or something has swung into it. And there's a tiny little one there. You can just about see where there was some sign writing up there. I'll polish this panel, and I suspect that will go because it's quite faint. But I can run a bit of touch-up stick in that as well. And very good tyres on the back. Those, they're the original Michelin Energy Saver tyres, but they haven't perished like the front ones did, so they're fine. Nothing else to point out here. The back is all good. Nothing I can see there. Eagle-eyed viewers might notice there's a bit of plastic missing from the lens there, but I have got a new whole light assembly on order from Renault, but it hasn't turned up yet, but that will be fitted of course. And then looking in the back, it's really nice. I've put a new ply floor in because the original ply had gone quite mouldy. It had white mould all over it. It had obviously been washed or had got damp, and then the door shut, hadn't been able to dry, and the mould was growing on it. So it was, rather than trying to clean it, it was just as easy to stick a new floor in. So as you can see, brand new floor. These box sections I've left off for now. Personally, if it was my van, I wouldn't fit them, because you know, this plastic here works quite well, but it's up to you. So both sides I've left them loose, and then the new owner can decide whether they want to fit those. And then this has obviously got the windows in the back, which is quite rare on the Kangoo electric vans, and it's got the original hardboard here, which is in nice condition. Usually these get wrecked and punctured and big holes. There's a little split on that one, and then over on this side there's a little split here and here, but still in good condition. And then continuing down this side, the only thing I can really point out on this side, there's a little dent down there on the passenger door, which I'll show you, but the edge of the plastic's just broken off here. Very minor. It's not into the lens at all, so that doesn't need replacing. There's a little bit of scuffing on that wheel trim, but yeah, it's just a plastic wheel trim, so nothing to worry about there. There's no dents or scratches down this side. The only two is on this passenger door. There's a little dent there and a little dent here. The rest is all good. And then in the back here, there's your charge cable, type 2 to type 2. I can also provide a portable charger. They're also called a granny cable, so that allows you to charge the van on a 3-pin plug, a normal main socket. It does take quite a long time because it can only draw 10 amp, but it'll always be charged by the morning because you charge overnight with these. And obviously, if you had an electric vehicle, you would get a wall charger installed either at home or your workplace, and that's where you do majority of your charging. But the portable charger is very handy because you can charge the vehicle from the off as soon as you get it. And I do a free loan system of those, so you can keep the charger for up to a month, and then you would obviously get your wall charger installed, and then if you don't want it anymore, you can return it to me and I give you 100% of the money back, so you end up with a free loan of that portable charger. And then while we're here, this one doesn't have a bulkhead, it's all open, but you've got those bars there protecting the driver's seat. I've also put new lashing tie-down hooks in here as well. There's 8 on a Renault Kangoo Maxi. The originals were getting a bit corroded and had gone stiff, so it's got 8 new lashing hooks as well. And then just continuing round the rest of the vehicle, the wheel trim there's got some very minor scuffing along the top there, but it's all fine, you wouldn't worry about that. And obviously a new tyre there. There's no marks on the wings or bonnet. And then at the front here, the electric vehicles, the Renault electric vehicles, have this blue effect. It's just a bit of sticky film effectively on the badge, and they've never been able to make that stick, so they do slowly, the blue flakes off. Renault were changing these badges under warranty. They've given up on the blue idea and they've just used chrome badges, but this one was never claimed for. But if you leave it long enough, slowly the blue flakes off and it just returns to a normal chrome badge anyway, or you could sit there and pick it off. And then under here is your charge port. This has got the same type 2 charge flap as a Renault Zoe. These do have a habit of breaking, so you have to lubricate them. You see I've got a bit of white grease on that because I've just done this today. So as soon as these start getting stiff, you've got to make sure you lubricate them before they snap off. But this one is still obviously working and in place, and that's your type 2 charge port. And you've got a ZE light there which flashes and goes red, and it flashes various stages of blue to show you the status of your charging. Yeah, the front of it is in really nice condition. That plastic bumper is mark free, and I've put new wiper blades on it. This has also had a new windscreen at some point as well. But yeah, overall there's no significant scratches on the mirrors either. There's a little one there, but you know, really minor. But overall it's a cracking looking van. And then I'll just show you the inside. If I just remove the file with the paperwork, I've put new carpet mats inside. I put mats on all the vans because it just helps to absorb the dust and things and stop you wearing out the original rubber floor. And as you can see there, the seat is in really nice condition. Well, both seats are in nice condition, should I say. There's a few little marks. I think that's sort of yellow paint there, but really insignificant. And yeah, dashboard and everything is in nice condition. There's a little scratch there, but you know, and up there as well. Someone's clearly had something loaded through, but you know, really minor. And door card there is all in good condition. And then on the driver's side, I'll just remove my bit of paper there. So you can see there, new carpet mat down there. Driver seat's all in nice condition. Oh, that's from my green folder over there. But yeah, it's all in good condition, and as is the rest of it. And the door card. There is a little bit of minor scratching here around on the plastic where people haven't put the key in properly. But that's about it. It's in really good nick, this one. And being a phase 2 van, which means it's a new shape at the front end, you have a stereo as standard in these, and it's got Bluetooth as well and USB. The previous shape vans didn't have a stereo as standard. Yeah, let's just start it up. So there's the mileage, 6,019 miles, and I can just show you there's no error messages there, and the Range, it was on 80 miles just now. It's dropped to 78 because I've had the ignition on and I haven't been driving anywhere. But yeah, it's predicting a range of 80 miles, which is pretty good for these. This is obviously a guessometer, so it does depend on how you drive, but it does show that the battery pack is nice and good on this one. And then this is your gear stick. Even though electric vans don't have a gearbox, they give you an automatic gear shifter here, so it's all familiar to drive, but yeah, they don't have a gearbox as such. You've just got the electric motor at the front driving the front wheels, and you get that nice linear smooth acceleration. And you've got a resistive heater on these, so the heating system does use quite a lot of the power from the traction battery. So in winter, when it's cold, the battery is less efficient as well, because batteries don't like the cold. And if you're going to use the heating system, then you're going to look at about a 20% loss in range during the coldest parts of the winter. But there's a few things you can do to help that. Primarily, you can use the preconditioning, so you can leave the heater set round to the clock symbol, and then on the dash here, using the buttons on the end of the stalk, you can set what time you're going to leave in the morning. So you typically, you know, let's say you set it for 7:30 in the morning. The van will be plugged into your charger overnight. The van controls the charger, so the van will charge up. When it gets to 100%, it will turn the charger on. Turn the charger off. And then for that time that you've set on the dash in the morning, it will flick the charger back on, put the heating system on, and heat the van up, ready for you to leave. So when you leave, you've got a nice warm interior. All the ice is melted off the windows, and the windows are demisted. And then when you're ready to go, you disconnect. You've still got 100% battery, 100% range, and the vehicle's already warmed up already. So possibly you can do your drive then without the heating system on at all. And that really does help. And it's also very nice in the winter to get into a warm vehicle. And I'll quickly show you the paperwork. This does have 2 remote keys. And then here's the logbook. It's had no previous keepers. I bought it from the lease company. And the registration date is the 30th of September 2014, and we've got a service history printout and a check sheet there from when it was at Renault. And here we've got the user guide, the radio guide, and is that the quick start, and the quick start guide. Yeah, so we've got all the paperwork we should have. So these vans are incredibly cheap to run, particularly if you're in London. So you don't pay the congestion charge with these. You obviously got to register it. I think that's £10 a year, but then there's no daily fee. If you're in the new low emission zone, obviously this is 0 emission, so there's no saving there. So I think that congestion zone and that low emission zone works out just over £5 a year now. So massive savings there. The fuel, i.e. your electricity, is very cheap. These cost £2 to £3 to charge. And obviously if you can be very clever with your charging and find some free public charging, then it can be even cheaper. Or if you can charge overnight on a cheap rate nighttime tariff, then obviously it's much cheaper. There's also no road tax currently on electric vehicles, and because this one is registered before March 2015, this is also MOT exempt as well. So I'll just quickly talk about charging on these. This is a 3.6 kilowatt AC charging. So it takes roughly 5 hours to charge this from flat. There is no rapid charging function on a Kangoo van, so you typically charge overnight while you're sleeping. But obviously you can do a top-ups throughout the day if you've got charging facilities, or you can use a portable charger on a mains socket. But you can't do the long trips in Kangoo vans, because no matter what charger you connect to, this is still going to take 4 to 5 hours to charge. So if your daily range, daily use is within the range of the vehicle, so this is sort of 70 to 80 miles in the summer, 50 to 60 miles in the coldest part of the winter. But yes, if your daily range is within that, your daily uses within that range, then these are fantastic vehicles. And then you just charge every night while you sleep, a bit like your mobile phone. You use it throughout the day and then you charge it at night. So this van is ready, so if you're interested, then do give me a call or email. Also let me know your postcode so I can work out delivery costs. This will get delivered on a transporter, so it's then fully charged and ready to use straight away. Also don't delay, because there's very few of these long wheelbase maxi electric vans available. I did have one a few weeks ago and it sold within minutes, and that's the first one I've had in 4 or 5 months, I think. And there's a lot of people on my mailing list waiting for these, so I'm sure this will get snapped up pretty quick as well. If you found this video useful and you're watching it on YouTube, please do click the little thumbs up symbol in the bottom right, because that helps with the rankings and the search results in YouTube.